welcome to Sarah's Stamping Retreat. Today we're going to be making some fun dramatic cards using a set from Altenew called One Go Friendship Flowers, and it's this lovely floral stamp set, and it has a coordinating set of layering stencils, the 6 layering stencils, and also a coordinating die so that you can create 4 sets of flowers in one go. And so I love this in quite a lot of ways. Number one, because you can do so many at once, which for me speeds things up but also gives you kind of like flexibility. And I really like to be able to use things in different ways. So I've not done any of those dark background cards for a while. So we're going to be using cards with a navy base today because I just love navy. So I'm going to pop my paper into my stamp positioning tool, and I have gone for an 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece of cardstock, and I'm just going to stamp that on there in black ink. And because it's such a big stamp, I do prefer to do it in the stamp positioning tool because it does make a difference in terms of being able to stamp that a second time if you've not got every single bit. And then I'm going to go in with the layering stencils to colour this in. And usually I use a grippy mat for stenciling, but since I've got this out, and I know not everyone has a grippy mat, this is another good way to use stencils, is to use, if you've got a magnetic stamp positioning tool, you can use the magnets in that and hold everything in place, and then you can go ahead and stencil it. So I'm going to go in with some pinks for this one. So I'm going to go in with spun sugar for the first layer. And I would say, as a general rule, these kind of layering stencils are often made so that you put on the lightest shade of colour first, and then you build up to the darkest. So there's numbers on them to show which one to use first. So this is stencil number 1. So go in with your lightest shade then, and then go through to your darkest. And I am, for speed, going to use the same colours on all of the flowers, but obviously if you wanted to do different things, you could do pink on this one, yellow on that one, whatever you fancy. You don't have to do them all the same shade. I'm just doing it for speed and for ease. And to be honest, I love these flowers and I can see myself using them for a lot of projects. So probably I'll sit in front of the TV one night and I'll make a whole selection. So I'll go through like with pinks for one set, yellows for another set. I'll use all the colours that are the ones I use the most. And then I can quickly get a whole bunch of flowers that I'll just put in my little box to be used when I want to use them for a card. So then I'm going to remove that stencil. And then we've got the second stencil. And it's quite easy just to pick out the edges of some of the flowers and line it up with those, and then you'll know it will line up for everything. This one's a good one to line up because it goes all the way around. So then I'm going to go in with some saltwater taffy for the next layer, and you can see it's this kind of corally colour. And I would say that with delicate stencils like this, you want to rinse them under a tap to wash them rather than rubbing them with a cloth, because rubbing them with a cloth can make some of the small bits kind of loosen a little. But they do stand up to the blending brush as well. You can see nothing's moving as I'm stenciling this. The Altenew stencils do tend to be really nice quality. Then that's that layer done, and you can see we're already starting to get some of this lovely shading in. So then we're going to come through with this one, and with some of these later ones, they've actually, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on screen, got this kind of almost embossed bit where the edge of the flower is. That's again another tool you can use to help you line everything up nicely. And then for this one I'm going to use Abandoned Coral, which is a darker shade again. And I'm using all Distress Oxide inks for this, by the way. I love the kind of creamy look that they give it. And you see there's starting to get quite a lot of detail in some of those now. So then the next layer does the leaves and the flower centres. So I don't want to use obviously the same colour for the flower centres and the leaves, so I'm going to go in with some scattered straw for the flower centres. And I'm using these Altenew mini blending brushes for this because of the detail, and I really love them. There's kind of a lot of hairs and they're really fine, so it's really good for blending. They do actually do these detail blending brushes which are perfect for these little bits. I've used the bigger brush because I'm using yellow and green, which aren't going to go too muddy if they cross. But you could use detail blending brush, or you can just do the centres, take it away, clean it off and bring it back again. I'm not going to bother cleaning it off because I'm using yellow and green, which kind of aren't going to look too bad if they mingle a little. But I have already done a set of these. You can see on here I used the orange for the centres, and I didn't want the orange and the green mixing, so I did clean the stencil between the two then. So for the leaves, I'm going to go in with some bundled sage. If you only have the very big blending brushes, you might find that you want to just mask some of this off with some tape, because obviously where some of these bits get quite close to each other, if you do that with a big brush, they're likely to kind of contaminate different areas. These two here we'll use in a minute. You can see that they've got no stamping on them. They're not supposed to be used in this stage. And then we'll move that and we'll do these ones here. So then for our next stage, we've got this. You can see this is the detail for the leaves and the detail for the flower centres. And again, it's got those flower outlines on the stencil that you can use to line it up. So for this layer, I'm going to use mustard seed, and I am going to go in with one of these mini blending brushes this time, because some of these areas do get very close to the leaves. And then I'll go in with the evergreen bough to do the leaf detail. So then the final layer is for if you want to make this into like one card, and basically it covers up all that nice stenciling so that you can blend a colour into the background. So then you get this kind of frame around it and you can make that into your card front. And I think that's a really nice option as well, but we're not going to do that today. But for today, because I want to use the whole flowers, but I want to use it on a navy background, so I'm just going to go through and outline all of these flowers with the navy. And this is quite time consuming. If you don't want to do this, I would suggest just die cutting them and you'll get that white border around. So they won't blend into your card as much, but I know a lot of people like that look as well, where it's kind of the contrast to the background. I think it looks nice in some situations. I just want it to kind of blend into the background today. So I am using Olo marker B4.7 for this, by the way. If you've not seen Olo markers, I'll link to them below because they are good. You can choose what colours you want and they screw together like this so that you can put two colours on one pen. So it saves space, but the way that they do it, because it's a cartridge inside instead of like foam or whatever they usually use, then there's nothing to soak up the ink. So they reckon that you get twice as long from one pen. And to be honest, I think I got my first ones around about this time last year, maybe March or April last year, because I bought some for my birthday, which is in March. And I've not had one come even close to feeling like it's about to run out. But also, if they do, then you can buy the individual refills for that pen. You just click them in. There's no kind of like messing about with actually refilling them yourself or anything. You just click the cartridge in. You can buy them with different nibs as well. I really like them. I actually just recently bought some more. So you can see now that I've got two of the flowers surrounded, that this gives a much more dramatic look with the navy on the outside. If you want a more subtle look like this, then just cut them out as they are without outlining them, and then create the cards that we're going to create, but on white cardstock instead, and you'll get the same look of the kind of outlines blending in, but it'll be like much more subtle kind of pretty look rather than this very dramatic look that we're going for today. To be honest, I like both, depends on my mood. So then I can use the coordinating die to cut those florals out. So here are all of our pieces, and like I said, I've made The same in those yellow colours that I showed you as well. I'm going to set this one aside for a different card. And then for this card, I'm going to use these ones. So there are loads of lovely sentiments on here, but I think I'm going to go with Happy Birthday Friend. So I'm going to heat emboss that onto some navy cardstock. So I'm going to use some white embossing powder for that. So I'm just going to cut around this, and then we've got a coordinating die to cut this one out as well. So since we're going to go for a bit of drama on these cards, I'm going to add quite a bit of added depth. Obviously add glue if you're worried about it going through the paste or whatever. So just add in some foam behind my sentiments. So I've got 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card blank with a 3.5 by 4 3/4 inch mat, and that is both the indigo cardstock from Spellbinders. I'm just going to add this on here. And then I'm going to add some foam pieces behind my florals as well. And that's going to pop up on there. I'm just kind of deciding whether to trim it round here and then have it pop up on there, or whether to trim it round the outside. I think I might trim it round the outside. So I'm going to add this behind here. Then I can glue that onto there and just trim off those edges. And everything that I trim off any of my cards today I'm keeping, because I'm going to make a card at the end to try and use up a lot of those extra pieces. And little tip, if you cut these from the back, then you can see really clearly where you want to cut off. It's much easier than cutting it from the front. So in this one I didn't end up using, and these bits that I cut off I'm going to pop to the side for my final card. And then look how pretty that is. I really love that. So for this next card, I've got the same setup as the previous card, but I'm going to take this mat and I'm just going to splatter it with a bit of water. And then you can just add some white embossing powder to there. And look at that gorgeous white splatter effect you can get from just things that are in your stash. After you use splatters a lot, you're probably going to want like one of the special splatter mediums, but I don't use it that much, so this is my favourite way to get some splatters. It does take a little bit longer to melt because you're kind of drying out the water as well, but it's just like normal heat embossing. So then again I'm going to add some foam behind this layer, and then I can glue that on. So then all I'm going to do is take one of our flowers and I'm going to pop it up on foam on here. And then I've just cut one of those happy birthday sentiments again. I'm just using the happy birthday this time. And then we've got that pretty card using just one of the florals. So then for the next couple of cards, I'm going to create like a stripy background. So I've got a 4.5 by 5 3/4 inch piece of navy cardstock, and I'm just adding some double-sided adhesive sheet to it. If you don't have it, you can just cover it in glue. Just doing this for ease. And then I'm using scraps of different shades of blue cardstock, and I've cut them into 1/4 inch strips, and I'm just going to lay them across in a pattern. It's a really good way of using up all those cardstock scraps. And I just cut these with my trimmer, but obviously you could use like one of those kind of sentiment dies where it kind of cuts strips. But because I just wanted to use up scraps, I didn't want to use whole pieces of paper, I decided to cut them myself. And I've cut this very slightly bigger than I need it, because then I don't have to worry about whether this edge is straight or anything like that. I can just cut it down to size. So now we've got our stripy section, so I'm going to cut it into panels. So as I mentioned, I'm going to create 2 cards from this stripy paper that we created. So this is going to be the first one. So I've cut this down to 4 by 2 3/4 inches, and I'm just adding some sticky dots to the back of it. So then I've got an acetate card that's 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And I'm just going to add this inside it. And then I'll also put a piece of white cardstock on the back, the same size, to write my message. And then I'm going to add this to the front of my card. And so I'm going to add that across there. And I'm going to glue it because the actual acetate itself kind of creates height from the background. And then I'm going to add on my sentiment. So it's just from that same set, I've just used the thank you very much. And I'm just going to line that up with one of those navy stripes so that it kind of fits in with the background as well. And then you can see that it kind of has the added height of having this inside without adding on loads of foam pads. And then for my second card with the stripes, I just cut a 1 1/2 by 5.5 inch strip. I'm going to glue that down the edge of this card. And originally for this card, I was going to have these pieces kind of coming down, but actually when I was lining it all up, I think I prefer it with just the one flower. So I think I'm going to have it like that instead. So I'm going to pop that up on some foam again. So then there's that card. Then for my final card, I've got the same layout as the first couple of cards. So I've got the 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card blank with the 4 3/4 by 3.5 inch layer. And I'm just using my leftover pieces. So I've got a whole flower here and then the bits that we've cut off and these little ones to use up. And I'm just going to add them across this mat. I've got that happy birthday friend. So I think I'm going to add on my sentiment first. And you'll notice that in most cases where I've cut the flower off another card, I'm using that straight edge to line up to a straight edge here. The difference is here that I wanted this bit coming into the card, so I've put that one at an angle, but the rest I'm kind of lining up. So I'm using the whole of the rest of the flower. So all I'll be wasting is this bit here and then the bits that I cut off these two. So from those two sets of stenciling and stamping, that's all the waste that we've got left. And then I can just glue that onto my card. And I think that's a really nice way to use up those leftover pieces. So then there we've got all 5 of today's cards. I think that navy background really adds the drama. And I love that because of the way that the stamp and the stencil work, we've only had to do 2 lots of stamping, stenciling, cutting out to get all the flowers for all of those cards. I'd love to know which is your favourite. Please do let me know in the comments below. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, I'd appreciate you clicking like below, and you can also press subscribe if you'd like to see future videos. If you press the bell button and select all, then YouTube will also notify you when I've got a new video available. All of the products that I've used for today's cards are listed in the description below, and there's also a link there to my blog where you can find a picture supply list if that helps you find what you're looking for. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon.